which then brings us over here at Samsung. Yes, baby, Samsung. That was a great product placement. I have taught her well. She passes me my Buds Live as I say Samsung.
Perfect.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the 3-Star Podcast. I am your host, Myles, and there is no Sean today. However, I have brought some backup in the form of these special guests. You've seen her before, but always amazing. Kally, how are you?
Hey, Myles. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm great, mate. I'm in a really good mood. I'm not too sure why, but I think it's because the sun's out over in sunny Birmingham. And we are joined by, you may have seen him if you've watched our S20FE live show. Yeah, that's the right one.
That's the one.
And the soon to be birthday boy,
It's
Tom.
Birthday tomorrow. So yeah, how are we doing, Myles? You good?
Birthday tomorrow from when we're recording, not when this comes out. But still,
Yeah.
fine, Tom. Send him your happy birthday wishes.
Yeah.
It's never too late. Wish him a belated birthday. How are you, Tom?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. Happy to be back after my short appearance last time. I'm here for a full episode, so it's very exciting.
There we go. That is good. And we actually have like a topic to focus on instead of me and Sean just waffling on about something. This week, it's all about sustainability. That's what we're focusing on here at Samsung, is all about being sustainable. I've been practicing this before we came on air and I still messed up the word. But it's all about being sustainable and what that actually means. So you know what, Tom, I'll throw to you first. What do you get from sustainability? What does it mean to you?
I mean, my course, my area I'm supposed to be an expert in, definitely not an expert, but is environment and business. So all about what businesses do to be sustainable, how they produce things sustainably, and how they have a responsibility. So obviously to be responsible for their actions, I suppose. So yeah, really interesting seeing what Samsung are always doing to be sustainable.
Oh, I love that. I love how you said I'm supposed to be an expert. not quite. We'll get there.
Yeah.
And what about you, Kally? What does being sustainable mean to you?
I guess it's making sure that, the carbon footprint that you lead and, you don't cause any additional damage so that future generations can enjoy the world just as much as we have, like going to the park and seeing all the greenery and, going on like scavenger hunts and stuff. You want to make sure that all of that greenery and all of that, the amazingness, like the amazing outdoors that you had as a child, you can then pass on to the next generation.
How long? Because I personally haven't been sustainable all my life. My carbon footprint before I became woke, shall we say, was quite bad. How long has it been, do you guys think, since you started to take care of the environment and like notice what you were doing? Because I'm not going to incriminate myself, but let's just say I rarely used bins when I was younger.
Brilliant.
I'm gonna, especially when I was driving, and we'll leave it there.
I mean, I think there's a sense of being educated on it, because I don't think anyone can say they've always been sustainable or environmentally friendly, but there's definitely certain things or news stories or documentaries, which I know we're going to talk about, which really change your mindset, because you make you realize what is actually going on. And then obviously there's that mindset that just one person can't make a difference. But I think once you see so many different things you can do as one person and the impact they can have, then that really I think that makes you become more sustainable, reducing that footprint, as Kally said.
So right, we are going to talk about a documentary when it comes, because we're talking about sustainability and was we've got to mention this documentary. But before we get to this documentary, even though this documentary sort of threw what I'm about to talk about under the bus, I think when it comes to sustainability, the one person we have to shout out first is Sir David Attenborough.
Oh.
I didn't realize just how long he's been trying to save the planet. For some reason, all of his previous, do we call them series? They're not documentaries, are they? All of his previous series, I've only ever watched them because I like animals. It's only been since is it Blue Planet 2 or the first Blue Planet maybe, when he started talking about like plastic in the ocean and the forest deforestation around the world. That started to make me feel bad. That's when I started feeling bad.
And he only joined Instagram in order to share more of a wider message. He literally just joined Instagram to post about, climate change and global warming and everything that was going on in the world, to try to say to people, hey, it may not change in my lifetime, but look at the domino effect it could have if you all start taking steps to become more sustainable. Ride that bike to work with a cycle to work scheme. Don't use your car on weekends if you can walk somewhere. Make sure you do your recycling, and don't litter when you're in a car.
Yeah, you people out there that are throwing things out the window. Tisk, tisk, tisk. But no, yeah, David Attenborough has been a fantastic spokesperson for the environment. And you mentioned global warming. We're not going to get into politics. Some people out there don't believe in global warming. Will someone please explain to me how on the weekend, for me anyway, it snowed, rained, hailed, was sunny, snowed again, went sunny, rain, then snowed, then happened at the exact same time. I promise you, I looked out the window and it was snowing whilst the sun was out. I was like, I've never been this hot and cold at the same time.
Yes, Matt.
Can't explain that, but it was exactly the same where I was, and it literally blows my mind.
I don't get it, but let's get into the documentary that we've all been tiptoeing around. I know you've watched it, but I'm just gonna, for the purpose of our audience watching, have you guys watched Seaspiracy?
Well, it's changed my life. Like, I know some people might say, oh, a documentary. It's literally been so eye-opening. I've changed my lifestyle because of it.
I'm with you, Kally. So, Kally, you kind of mentioned in pre-production what you've done. To tell the world what you've done, and then I will tell the world what I've done because of this documentary.
Well, I've completely cut fish out of my diet, 100%. I used to be a massive sushi fan, used to go to Wagamama's and Yo Sushi, and no longer completely cut out fish. And also, what I didn't tell you in pre-production is I now have changed my meal plan. So I have like at least three vegetarian meals a week. So like for your tea and stuff, because I'm a steak lover, I can't help it. But I'm trying to cut down on how much meat that I eat. So I'm now determined to have 3 days solidly of being vegetarian.
Well, Kally, funny you say that, because we have made the switch to being vegetarian full time. This week is currently my second week as a vegetarian. For lunch, I had Mediterranean vegetables, mixed peppers, and halloumi in a pitta. It was delicious. The hardest part about going vegetarian is thinking of the meals. But right, this isn't about me and my meal plan. We are talking about Seaspiracy. But yes, for those that haven't watched Seaspiracy, the Netflix documentary, it's quick way to explain it. It's a documentary that was originally about saving dolphins and whales, which then led to a deeper world around commercial fishing and the effects that commercial fishing has. Selfish plug, you can go over to YouTube or Spotify and listen to the Myles High Club podcast, where I do actually cover my thoughts on Seaspiracy. But because we don't have all day, they don't know I'm going to ask them this. But starting with you, Tom, what was your biggest takeaway or shock, or what was your biggest thing you took from watching Seaspiracy?
I think that's a really good question, because like the misconception of how much fishing has an impact on the oceans. So like, I know you touched on it briefly earlier about, and on your podcast, about the percentage of plastic straws which like pollute the oceans, which is like 0.05% or something. But then you realize, like, compared to like the fishing waste from fishing nets and stuff like that, that's like over 40%. Correct me, I can't remember what it was.
I think it was like, oh, here's my daughter.
Another special guest.
It was.
Oh, she's put you on mute, Myles.
Well,
she's done you there.
But I did read it. Yeah, said 46% was that.
Yeah, 46.
Yeah, I think they said it was 46% was fishing nets, but then over 50% was everything from commercial fishing.
Yeah, so I
That's
think it just
crazy.
shows, like, just goes to show the broad, like, sort of span of the impact of fishing and how, well, unsustainable it is actually as a commercial fishing as an industry as a whole, to be honest.
Yeah, not only that, Tom, but like, did you see the percentage of like species reduction over the last,
Oh my
like since
gosh.
1970? So we're looking at what, 40 years, 40, 50 years? And some like species are like down 99% of the population.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what got me? Do you know when you think about how big the ocean is, you can never quantify how many animals are in the ocean. But when you hear stats like, what was it, 100,000 dolphins are killed every year on like the coast of West Africa or somewhere in Europe, I was like, how can this happen year on year and we still have dolphins? It was absolutely ridiculous. And then talking of fishing, Tom, as you mentioned, when they was on about the nets, I
Yeah.
didn't realize. I just thought they dropped. Again, this is Nemo's fault. I thought they just dropped nets and then just lifted the nets up and caught fish like they did in Nemo. When they explained they're dropping nets and dragging it across the floor, and what did they say? There's that many fishing nets they could wrap around the world.
Yeah, I saw that
Ridiculously
diagram. It
close.
literally
Yeah.
looked like the world was being squeezed, like when they were showing
Being
the
choked.
images. Yeah.
Oh my! It was. And again, if you haven't watched Seaspiracy, there is there's nothing in this documentary that is deliberately to put you off eating fish, because he doesn't, it's not against fishing, it's against commercial fishing, and he wants to know if commercial fishing can be done sustainably. Like, he's not telling you to become vegan, he's not saying stop eating fish, he's not saying any of that. It is literally about commercial fishing. But again, depending on what you take from it, like myself and Kally, it was one of those things where it was just like, yeah, I might have to stop eating.
Plus, it's quite graphic as well. Like the two people that do the documentary, they go to these places and they see like firsthand what happens to the animals. And I'm not going to ruin it, you know. But you brace yourself for what you see, because it's not a nice thing to see, and it's really eye opening.
I would say when you're watching it, keep an eye on when you're getting near the end, because the last, is it the last 5 minutes when they go to, I don't want to spoil it, but when they show you what happens in that last 5 minutes and the way it's filmed, where it just keeps cutting to black, it was like a horror movie, and I was just like, but Kally, to you, we'll try and get something different from what Tom said. Again, you're probably thinking is that like they cover so many different things. What was your biggest takeaway from Seaspiracy?
I think the fact that like the company that put out all of these dolphin safe labels on the tuna cans, and it's like, yeah, eat this tuna, it's, you know, we're doing everything sustainably. And the interview with one of the people that are in charge of that company, and he's like, yeah, I can't guarantee that, but you're using a, you know, a marketing tool to help sell your product. And then it was weird because they went to this like marine biology or conservation charity, and they were like,
Is
why
it
don't you promote
MS?
why don't
MSC.
you promote that you are that if the fishing is causing, you know, part of global warming? And they're like, oh, turn off the cameras, nobody would say that. And then he found out that those two companies are linked.
Yeah,
I was like,
it was.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen this, Kally verbatim said what the one guy says. So gist of the thing is, if you ever buy, it's on tuna. So if you ever buy tuna, if you've got tuna in your cupboard, go and look. Or if you remember this, next time you go shopping, just go and grab a tin of tuna. I looked in Aldi the other day. It says dolphin friendly for us, but in America they've got a dolphin safe company. So some tuna will say dolphin safe, and he asked Ali, the guy doing the documentary, asked the question: how many dolphins max can be killed before you claim something is dolphin safe? He says zero, laughs it off, and says one. So he says one or less dolphins can be killed for it to be classed as dolphin safe. And then he goes, can you guarantee it? And he says no, with a straight face, knowing the cameras are on, knowing mics are on. He literally just says no, and ends it right, and just keeps, and then he lies and says, no, we can guarantee that it's sustainable. And then he says to him, you literally just said you can't guarantee it, now you're saying and it's
backtracking,
crazy.
Yeah.
backpedaling.
And then
It's madness.
for me, it's always the dark side of the stories that get me. But For me, it was the bycatch.
Oh, don't.
I'm not going to ruin the see, even Mila's getting upset. You remember the bycatch of the dolphins, don't you, baby? But the bycatch and how many dolphins are killed in order to catch tuna. Just watch it for that number, or watch it for when they're in a cove in Japan.
Yeah.
And they're catching dolphins.
Is it Taiji?
Yes, Taiji. Yes, the cove in Taiji, and they're catching dolphins. And they're like, what do they do with the dolphins they don't need? They just kill them. And I was just like, and sharks again. I could talk. I already have spoke about this for like an hour and a half, like an hour, so I'm not going to get into it now. But the one thing it did make me realize is there are a lot of businesses, like Kally said, out here that are doing all these things that claim to be sustainable, or they're preaching one thing, but they're doing another thing, which then brings us over to us over here at Samsung. Yes, baby, Samsung. That was a great product placement. I have taught her well. She passes me my Buds Live as I say Samsung. There you are. And our move to be more green, such as not putting chargers in the boxes of our Galaxy S21 series, which confused a lot of people. But then once we explained the different things that we are doing, I know we spoke about it on a previous episode where it was on about like the TV boxes, that the TVs are coming in and all the things that they're doing in terms of being able to rebuild it into like a plaything for your kids. What about you guys? What have you guys seen that Samsung or businesses are doing in order to be more sustainable?
I mean, I could take this if you want. I know we did speak about this a little bit before, Kally, but like for sustainability as a whole, there's 17 sustainable development goals, which Samsung actually partnered with the UN with the Global Goals app, is it? Which is pre-installed on your device. And on there, it's just a really easy way to sort of educate yourself about all the 17 goals which we have as the United Nations have to become more sustainable for the future. And so on the app, you can sort of just simply by being on the app, the ad revenue by being on there, you can use to donate to a goal of your choice. So it's it's a really good way to sort of educate yourself on what ways you can make a difference, and then like sort of donate your money accordingly. Really cool.
Yeah, to lead on from what Tom said, it's a fantastic app that's pre-installed. I know it's 100% pre-installed on all of our premium range devices. And even when you plug your phone in, you're generating that ad revenue. I think it's called charge for change or change for charge. And once you plug your phone in, so for instance, everyone plugs their phone in at least once every 2 days, that app is running in the background and changing your home screen and generating that ad revenue for your charity. And all you've literally done is charged your phone.
Simple as that, really, isn't it?
100%.
And again, like Kally said, if you're watching this and you don't have a Samsung, by all means, Google about Samsung, our global app. If you do have a Samsung, like Kally said, it is pre-installed. It's literally called Samsung Global Apps. It's like the white background with then like a multicolored ring going around that as well. So click on that, have a flick through, and just see what Samsung are doing and any ways you can help to becoming more sustainable. So we are coming to an end of this podcast now. So hopefully we can inspire, or we can share some things between us. So no matter how big or small it is, Kally, we'll go to you. What are you currently doing that is, we'll say green, sustainable, or just what is you doing for your bit towards helping the planet Earth that we live on?
So I've completely cut fish out. So that's one thing. I also sell my old Pokemon cards on eBay. So the ones that I don't need or you don't use. So I reuse any boxes that I get from parcels. I reuse any bags that I get from parcels and bubble wrap. I actually don't think I've bought anything yet to coincide, and that I've been doing that for a few months now. So it just means that I'm making sure that even though I'm selling some stuff that I don't want anymore to new homes, I'm not then purchasing more cardboard. I'm not purchasing any more plastic. I'm not, I've got a like a thermal printer for labels. So I'm not having to worry about even more plastic and the sticky labels and all of that. It's completely recycled to send off.
Oh, that is cool. What about you, Tom? Anything you do?
I think we're always like thinking about it now, but I'm going to keep it food related. I'm going to try and do what you guys are doing, actually. I think the easiest way to phase out meat or fish from your diet is probably like a couple of days a week. It's going to be hard, but I'm going to try it because I think obviously it's so important and you do see the impacts. I might have to watch Cowspiracy at some point. Maybe that'll I won't get us onto that. But another little trick I've got, actually, there's an app called Too Good To Go. I don't know if you've heard of it. Actually a great app for like cutting down food waste. So if it's a Sunday night or something and you want some nice food, it'll literally look in your local area for anything which businesses are going to throw away. So you can get like literally pay £3 and you get a magic bag, and then you can literally get so many good bits of food, and it's stopping waste. So yeah, download.
Right, I am downloading. What is that called?
Too Good To Go.
Oh yeah, fight food waste, save great food, popped right up. 10 million plus downloads. Downloading that right now. Again, I don't think I do anything outstanding. We've brought, my partner's brought straws. We have our own straws now. Not Lilo. It's Stitch and Angel.
Oh yeah.
One's called. Yeah, Stitch and Angel. So we use those. You've probably seen it on the podcast loads of times. I don't have it with me in reach at the minute, but we no longer drink out of plastic bottles. So we don't buy plastic sports bottles. We've got, I think they're aluminium.
You could just get yourself a Samsung bottle. You don't need to get bottled water anymore. You can just get yourself a Samsung one.
Reuse that bottle, yeah. Yeah, I've actually
reusable.
Here we are. Here we are.
Right. Was this some sort of pre-production gag that I wasn't part of? I don't have one to reach. I'm just gonna pull out my Samsungs again.
Here we go.
With something with Samsung on it there as well. Yes, so they're the little steps that I take at the minute. I do a lot of walking. I only drive now if I really need to. I try and walk and bike everywhere. Well, as far as I can get to, as long as I can carry all the bags back with me and things like that. Shopping bags, we've got, if I was to show you my cupboard, the amount of reusable bags that are in that cupboard, because we don't use plastic bags now. They're in the cupboard, they're in both the cars, so there's never a time when we actually forget to bring our own bags and have to get plastic bags out there as well. It's just that, please watch Seaspiracy, because if you've seen Blue Planet 2, or if you've just been anywhere in the world and you saw the massive focus over plastic straws, like, everyone got rid of them. Everyone has got rid of plastic straws. A lot of places got rid of plastic bags. And then when you find out just how much of an impact, not to say you should carry on with your plastic, no, I'm not saying that. But when you realize just how much of an effort they put into that, when really what the effort should be put into, it is a crazy one. And then once you've watched it, message me and we can talk about why they didn't call it Conspiracy and called it Seaspiracy.
Yeah, that's
instead.
annoying. That's annoying.
So true.
When I first seen it, I was like, that's weird. And then I saw memes about it and I was like, okay, I'm not the only one that thought this. But any last messages from you, Kally?
Just what Myles says. Please watch it. I'm 90% sure that it will change your life for the better. And I haven't noticed any changes in myself. I feel good. I feel less guilty. So yeah, definitely watch Seaspiracy.
And you, Tom, any last things from you?
One thing which we definitely need to plug is Backstage Sustainability Week, which is what this whole podcast is in aid of, which is obviously Backstage Sustainability Week's next week. So everything on Instagram, your news feed, Backstage Live, all going to be sustainability related to sort of raise that awareness. But also, obviously, as we said, watch Seaspiracy because it will change you.
Yes. And then once you've watched Seaspiracy, watch the Myles High Club podcast. I don't know what episode number it is, so just watch them all until you get to the Seaspiracy one. Keep watching. But thank you very much for watching this podcast, the 3-star podcast with myself. Thank you very much to my special guests, Kally and Tom. And until the next time, guys, see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.